Hi everyone, Jewel here with a tropical update for J7409 weather. This morning, bright and early, yeah, I'm up early today. Okay, we have this disturbance. Here's Gabriella. Thank goodness Dorian's out of the picture. Now, these look like they're coming down more and more. Don't let it catch you off guard. When it comes to this system right here, I think possibly, now I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I think it's going to be more or less a rainmaker, okay? A rainmaker. And right now, there's lots of shear wind up in this area, okay? We got shear wind up in this area and some dry air. And that's going to, as this move chucks on along up here, it's going to have a lot to do with it. That's why I don't think it'll actually turn into anything at all. If it does make it through, I think it's going to bring lots of rain. It's hard to write with this thing, folks. Well, anyway, like rain. We'll just put an R, okay? Big old R up here. Rain. I think it will bring lots of rain over into Florida. And it possibly might go out in the Gulf and form a low, but not a storm. I think then it should probably maybe come up like this, maybe like this, who knows, maybe over in this area. And like I say, this is not wrote in stone. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But we're going to keep our eyes on it. Even when it's in the Gulf, it should still remain just a low pressure system with lots of rain, because it's not going to be over there that long. And all of this depends on if it makes it or not. Now, for this system, we've been following it for a while now, and I told you it was going to die down. It's got lots of shear wind, too. It's going to have to go through right up in these areas here. Now, what's going to happen with it is anybody's good guess right now. We're going to have to watch it. But if it makes it, it probably is going to truck on along, and then it's going to catch its pocket where there's no shear wind. Then it's going to move on along up like this. And then there's going to be a little more shear wind, might bring it down some, but then it's going to shoot right up like this. And I'm talking go all the way out in this area before it shoots back out to sea. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. That's what it's looking like it's going to do right now, though, with these systems. Now, so far as the National Hurricane Center, let's see what they have to say about all this. Still disorganized cloudiness and showers, a few hundred miles north-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands, and it's all associated with the surface trough interacting with an upper-level low. Now, strong upper-level winds are expected to prevent the development of this system during the next few days while it moves west-northwest to the north of the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico. However, though, environmental conditions could become a little more favorable for development when the disturbance moves near the Bahamas and Florida late this week. 2 days 0, 5 days 20%. I think it will just turn into a big rainmaker right now. I do think we got a great big high over here, folks. Gigantic high. We have another one here. This one's going to drop down. This one's going to push this one on a little bit. And it's going to push this one on a little bit. This one right here will be steering it. That's why I'm saying I think it may move across Florida in the Gulf and then ride maybe possibly up the coast and bring rain all up in these areas. Now we come to disturbance number 1. Now, this is a weak area of low pressure. It's associated with a tropical wave also, and it's producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms about midway between the Cabo Verde Islands and the Windward Islands. Now, some slow development of this system is possible during the next few days before upper-level winds become unfavorable for tropical cyclone formation. Now, this system is expected to move generally westward across the tropical Atlantic Ocean during the next several days. Now, 2 days it's very low no matter what through the next 5 days. 20% in 2 days, 30% in 5 days. But I am thinking that later on in September, maybe next to the last week or the last week of September, this sucker is going to maybe make it through. It's one we really have to watch because it looks like, yes, there's shear wind here, but there's going to be a big space when it starts to move. If it does survive the shear wind, it's going to gain strength. Then if it runs into some more, it won't affect it as much. We'll have a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. Once again, I've told you what I think this one will do. And as it looks now, still way too far out to nail anything down. But everybody, I'm talking like from Long Island, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina especially, right up maybe South Carolina coast, Florida and Georgia. Everybody, please keep your kits prepared and have them handy. I looked at all of this stuff so much yesterday till I finally went to bed, folks, trying to figure out what this, that, and all the other. It's still way out there, but this is the GFS map right now, and this is over at my Fox Hurricane. I'm putting this up because you can see it fairly well. Here we have Gabriella right here, and you don't see a whole lot of anything going on out here right now, right? Well, just watch and see what happens. Gabriella should be no threat to any land right now at all. As we move on along here, we're going to zip it up in time. And these are the high pressures that I was talking about. We got a great big one over here. We have another one over here. We have another one that's going to form over in here. And they're going to have a whole lot to do with everything that's going on. As we move along in time, then you can see here's this little weak system right down here. Right down in here. Well, we're going to see what happens with it. Poof! Looks like it's gone. Now, this is the GFS model. But then, poof, it comes back. We're going to click it on up. Run just a little ways. And you can see it goes down. But then it comes back up. Okay? And watch what happens. Now, this should be tropical storm stuff, probably over the Dominican Republic. Little high-end tropical storm over the Bahamas, but when it gets back to the other northern section of the Bahamas, it looks like, again, it could be a hurricane. Last thing in the world that those poor people need. And you can see, really not that big a threat to Florida and Georgia. Maybe a little wind and stuff starts in South and North Carolina. And then, boom, it hits me head on, rides up the Virginia coast, up into New Jersey and Long Island, and then goes out to sea. Now, this is the GFS model once again. Now, as we come over to the European model, today, of course, is the 9th of September, Monday. Happy Monday, everybody, 2019. And here is Gabrielle right here. We don't see a whole lot going on in a whole bunch of places. This goes 10 days instead of as many days as the GFS model goes. But we're going to click it through and see what happens. Now you see this rain coming up in here? It's probably going to be Wednesday or Thursday before that little system that's over in here. If we see if it makes it or not, if it goes into the Gulf or if it keeps riding up, it's going to be midweek before we actually know what happens with that. Now, you see how these highs are interfering with Gabrielle, and you see this high is coming down. Like I told you, that was going to steer that stuff the way that it looks now. Now here we go with a little bit of action. You can see the storm making up now right in here, and you can see lots of rains going on over in this area with the pressure system. That's what I was talking about. Now, this goes no further than the 19th, but it's looking like the storm is forming just like it is on the GFS map. Looks like the second system makes it through, holds out, and is going to form. Now over on this particular site, it only goes to the 18th of this month. I've already got it run all the way up. Here's this low that I talk about. I think is going to come off of that first system if it makes it through the shear wind. We're looking at the European model over here now. You can see rain, rain, and more rain. No wind at all. It's just a low pressure system. But it will start down here and probably ride up the coast, come out, and go up into this area. And here is the other sucker. Yes, disturbance number 1 we've been following for a while. Looks like it's got lots of rain in it. At this point, we will check out right quick the wind. Not too bad right now. This is sustained winds on it. Could be a tropical storm, sustained winds. It's over 39 miles per hour. Wind gust at this time. We'll see what they're looking like. 62 knots. It's a high-end tropical storm at this point. It's not a hurricane. But as it moves on through, like I have said, the shear wind will let go right up in this area especially. It's going to have a big break more than likely. We'll have to wait and see what happens, folks. But everybody where I just showed you, please watch these systems. Keep up with them. It looks like we do have some more that's going to be developing. The next one we have, I believe, is named Humberto. I believe that's going to be the name of it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Just keep your kits together. Be prepared. Don't get caught off guard. Lots of stuff's going on. I'll keep you informed. I'll keep my eyes on this. If I see any changes with anything, I'll be sure and let you know. But don't let these things sneak up on you. I hope they all dissipate. We've had enough destruction this year from a hurricane. But it looks like we could get some more that could be just as bad. Let's hope not. Let's pray not. So, with all that said and done, that's a tropical update right now. If I see any big differences during the day, I'll be sure and do an evening tropical update. But I think this is about the way it's going to go for right now. At least for the next 2 or 3 days, these things are going to be fighting shear wind and dry air. They will die down, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be coming back. So, with all that said and done, share this information, please, with your family and friends. Be safe, have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day, and thank you so much for watching.